Okay, so we are in 9.5, day 3. I added some more examples on this notes page, so make sure to use the one that's attached to this week's calendar, not last week's. So we have completing the square still, but we're going to use completing the square method a little bit differently. We're going to take this standard form and turn it to vertex form. So just a little quick reminder that standard is ax squared plus bx plus c, and then vertex form is a times x minus h squared plus k, and h and k are our vertex. So we're going to be doing complete the square to this one to get it in this form here. So first we need to move it into the right format. So we want ax squared plus bx equals the c on this side, right? So we're going to subtract 11 on both sides. So now we have x squared minus 8x, and then remember we leave a little bit of a space for our next step, and then negative 11 on this side. Next we're going to do the b squared, or b divided by 2 squared to both sides. So add that both sides. So in this case, b is negative 8, so we're going to do negative 8 divided by 2 squared, which would be negative 4 squared, which is 16. So we're going to add 16 to both sides. Next, we're going to go ahead and factor and simplify. And remember that when we are factoring, this number inside here is this one right here, so minus 4. And then we have negative 11 plus 16, which would give us a positive 5. Okay, and then from that point, we're just going to go ahead and rewrite into the correct form. So we need this minus 5, or this 5 over here. We need it over there so that it looks like the vertex form. And 5 minus 5 is 0. So now it looks like this format, right? We have x minus a value squared, and then our plus or minus k out here. In this case, it's a minus. So our vertex form is x minus 4 squared minus 5. And that is our answer. So go ahead and pause the video and try the next two. If you have any questions on this part here, please email Ms. Holstad and I, and we are happy to help. On these ones, don't let the y equals get you stuck. Just make it equal to 0 first, and then do the same exact steps that we did up top. Okay, so for the first one, I had told you set it to 0, and then we need it in the right form, so we subtract 3 on both sides. And then b divided by 2 squared, so negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Square that, gets positive 1, so we're going to add plus 1 on both sides. And adding 1 to both sides is the same as just writing a 1. You don't have to write plus there. You can if you need to or want to. And then we're going to factor and simplify, and then add 2 to both sides, and we get our vertex form there. If you have any questions, email Ms. Holstad or I. Same process over here. 0 for the y, subtract 25 on both sides. Our b is 6, divided by 2 is 3, square that, 9 to both sides, factor and simplify, and then add 16 to both sides. If you have any questions on this first part right here, any 3 of these, please email Ms. Holstad and I so we can help you. And go ahead and do that before watching the rest of the video, because in the next example we're going to add some steps to this. So I want to make sure that you understand this first part before moving on to the next part.